Aloha and welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing some cards from this card kit that I got from Simon Says Stamp. So we're starting with the alcohol inks, the Stream, Sunset Orange, and Sunrise Yellow. I do have some regular alcohol in this little spray bottle, and I'm using the Yupo paper that came in the card kit. So I've never experimented with these alcohol inks before. So this was my first time, and I do have regular alcohol in that spray bottle, so I am spraying it generously on my Yupo paper to try to get that ink moving. And I am in a very ventilated area. I have a fan going, windows all around, but it was too much of the alcohol. It got runny and the ink just blended into each other way too well. So the yellow and the orange just looked like one color. It came out nice, and it took a really long time to dry, especially here where I'm at. It took the humidity, and it just took like 2 days for this piece to dry, this one particular piece. So I just didn't, with the remainder of my projects, I didn't spray the alcohol ink, and you will see that in a bit. I did leave, I did 2 card background examples for you guys here. Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of that stream just to give it some color, and it's so fun to watch these inks move around on this paper. So I am taking now the little spray cap, and I'm just dipping it into the alcohol and just trying to throw like little dots, splotches of it all over. And that came out really cool. I like the look of that. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside to dry and move on to my next piece. So I did start, you see, I'm just going to dab on some of the alcohol here. And then go in with my yellow, or sunrise yellow, and just putting dots. And then I'm going to use, I'm just blowing it with my mouth. I didn't use a straw or anything like I've seen a couple other people do. And then I'm going in with my blue. And this panel came out gorgeous. So I'm going to do a card with this background on today's video. I love the way the color, everything just moves. It's so fun to play with. And I don't have that the alcohol blending ink or blending solution that usually a lot of people have with this product. So I'm probably gonna pick it up if I have the ink, so I might as well pick it up and keep experimenting with it. So I'm going to move on to card number 1. So card number 1, I took a couple of the stamps from the stamp set that came in the kit this month, and I'm just going to be gold heat embossing that onto some vellum. Came out really, really cute. And I'm just going to be fussy cutting all of those images out. Sorry, I woke up with some weirdness in my throat. Okay, so I did take this panel, the last one that you've seen me do, and I added some gold foil to some of it while it was drying, and then I just used a die cut to cut around the border. And I'm just going to be placing my vellum pieces randomly, and then I'm going to be attaching it down with some liquid adhesive, trying to concentrate the adhesive behind the embossing. Okay, and I did put some heavy blocks just to hold it down because vellum likes to curl up So I'm just holding it down there. So this is my thought process on this card, and I just left everything that I did on here. So I used that alcohol lift ink, and I am using the scripty thanks, and I just wanted to put that thanks right there in that lower corner part. Okay, and so when you stamp the lift ink on the alcohol markers, you end up with this leftover on your stamp that you can double stamp onto another piece of paper. So that's exactly what I did. And it came out really cute. It's got some of the greens and teals and yellows. Okay. And then you're supposed to rub with like a dry cloth, and it takes the ink away, or the alcohol. So I did it, and I didn't really like the way that came out. It didn't stand out enough, the sentiment. So thankfully I had, double stamped on a white piece of paper. And so I'm just going to cut that down and put that there, right there on top of that thanks that I had already stamped on. Okay, and so I did add some gold sequins in some random spots on the flower bouquet. And then I'm going to be attaching that to the teal colored cardstock that came in the kit. And that will be my card number 1. Okay, so we can move on to card number 2. So card number 2, I didn't show how I made this panel here, but I did I had a teak wood alcohol ink that I had like forever in my stash. And so I used that to incorporate it with some of the stream and some yellow. And then I just took the Hello stamp and I gold heat embossed that onto the panel. Now I have a friend die cut, and I just cut the friend out of this wood grain paper. So I'm removing the backing, the release paper, because it has a sticky backing on this wood grain paper. And I'm just using my negative as a guide, because this die cut comes out in pieces. So I'm just using it as a guide to put my friend together, and it's, in a straight line. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the process that I did. I really went back and forth with what I was going to do with this card. And so I have these cork heart stickers, and they came in a kit previously. I can't remember what kit, but so I have them sitting on my desk. So I'm just putting them there, thinking that maybe something that I wanted to do for my card. But I scratched that idea, and I went with using one of the stamps that came in the stamp set and the alcohol lift ink, and I applied that to the top. Came out really nice. So here I am dabbing it with the dry cloth, and here I think because of the weather, when I started trying to rub off the ink, it just blended it into each other. So at this point I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? So I just re-inked the stamp again with the lift ink, and I restamped it. And then when I restamped it, I just left it. I didn't wipe it. I just left it to dry on its own, and that came out great. That actually worked. So I don't know if it's the climate. If you guys know anything about that, please let me know in the comments below, because I don't know, once I started like rubbing it like I've seen other crafters do, it just disappeared. Like it blended right back into the background. So yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments. And then attaching that to the same teal colored cardstock with some double-sided adhesive. And this is something new. I don't really do this, but I cut off some really thin pieces from my Yupo paper to put it onto the front of my card panel. So I had these really thin strips left over. So I thought it'd be fun to take the 3 strips that I had left over and just place them right at the bottom of my card on the inside. So when you're writing, you know, when you're doing your writing on the inside of the card, it had brought some of that panel from the inside to, from the outside to the inside. Okay, so using my Nouveau drop here, crystal Nouveau drops, and I'm just going to be adding them in some random spots on my card. So when I did do the lift stamping, there were some parts that just came out a little blurry, so I am trying to strategically place my drops in areas that I think I want a little more distraction because of, you know, the double stamping, and you can tell the double stamping in some areas. So I'm just trying to concentrate my drops to pull your eye away from those areas. And I did use some foil on this card as well. You know, when it was in the drying process, I just laid some foil on it. Okay. And that is the card number 2. I had fun. Like, I really enjoyed this. It was an experience for sure. I learned a lot, and there's the inside. I mean, it's gorgeous. Just a little pop of the outside on the inside. So here are some still shots of the 2 cards that I made for today, and I really like them. I mean, they both brought on their own challenges for sure, but it was so fun to play with and watch the colors mix and blend, and the stamp set in this stamp kit is just gorgeous. So I will be back with a couple more cards from this card kit, and I hope you stick around. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and leave me a comment below. Mahalo for your support. I'll catch you on the next video.